just as a backup. All right. And then that camera and that microphone are going to record. You don't have to speak into it.
Okay.
It should catch you. But
You're not going to ask me trick questions?
I'm not even going to ask you any questions this time. You're just going to start talking this time.
I am?
Yeah, so I would like to just have you tell as much about from day one to today as you can remember.
In my life?
Yeah, just, hey, this is what I was told about when I was born. This is what like being a 3-year-old. This is what I remember from when I was a kid, and then if I have questions, I'll write them down and ask them later. Or I'll ask you why you're telling the story. But we'll just start with that. And then I have questions for other times that will basically just get to. All right, let me just start recording. Okay, so I record now.
Okay.
All right, so it's capturing us. All right, and it's not going anywhere. And it doesn't have to go on YouTube. It can stay as a video file, but let me just move this camera up a little. The kids were shorter. All right, let's see.
Is that good?
Yep, perfect. All right. All right, so first things first.
First things first.
We're recording this because we're just trying to get a little bit of everything, because of your bad news. So
Right, before it's lost forever.
Right. So I actually wanted to do this with Grandpa, but I never did it. So now we're going to do it here. But I just think it'll be like little, we'll record this. I'll chop it up into videos that make sense and stories. If you want it to go on YouTube, you can. If it doesn't, it'll just stay in like a private family thing. All right. So what is your earliest, what did your parents tell you about you being born? Was there any stories like?
No, I do remember, though, I think it was when John F. Kennedy was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was still alive.
Okay.
And I didn't understand what was going on. That's all I...
You just remember her being upset?
Crying, yeah, watching the TV and crying.
Was it actual memory, or is that a story you were told?
No, it's a memory.
Okay.
Because I remember she was ironing and watching TV, and all of a sudden she just starts crying. And I didn't know why.
Oh, okay. So she just heard the announcement or something on
Yeah.
the TV, and then what about like your brothers? Were they there too, or it was just been Steve?
I don't know where they were.
And was your mom home while Grandpa was working somewhere? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She was a stay-at-home mom,
And
housewife.
What did Grandpa do?
He worked for Valspar as a chemist.
Oh, okay. So that was what led him to do his own thing.
Yeah.
Did he do the same thing for Valspar that he did for himself?
Well, some of the same things, but what he did for himself was, strictly aerosol.
And they did what?
They did everything.
Every kind of paint?
Yeah, you can buy their paint in Home Depot now.
Oh, okay. So like house paints?
Yeah.
Auto paints, that sort of thing. Okay. All right. But you don't, so your mom passed away when you were 5 or 6, right? 4 or 5?
Right. I was going to be 5, I think.
Okay. So do you...
I remember it because it was like the Christmas tree was up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was in December, I think December 17th. But anyway, all of a sudden we heard, because all 4 boys were in one bedroom, we heard sirens, and they came to our house, and we didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And our neighbor, Mrs. Johnson, says, "Okay, you boys get back in the room now."
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to
So you didn't see anything?
well, they had the oxygen mask on her, and they were trying to revive her, but they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So then all I remember is that, Mrs. Johnson told us to go lay down. And, I didn't know until the next day, I suppose, that she was gone.
And so did she even make it to the hospital, or was she just immediate?
Yeah.
Did she have any warning before? Like, had any kind of indication she had heart problems or anything?
No, she didn't. She was overweight, but that's about it.
But that's it?
Yeah.
But I always think about the boys, and I'd always think like, okay, Liam's to an age now where, if I died, he would know who I am and he would have some pretty solid memories. Right. But if you were almost 5, I mean, the twins are, just barely 5. So if you're, I mean, is that the only solid memory you have of her? Is that, or do you like?
I remember some things, like she had like a little shop in the basement where she'd do her flower arrangements, and
Oh, she did flowers too.
yeah, and what do you call it? Gingerbread houses that we ate later on.
So like a craft area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
And then, but like, do you remember if like, did Steve have more memories of it? Did he talk about it more at all, or was it?
I'm sure he did. I just know it's most kids don't remember much.
Yeah.
From 5 years on before.
Right. Unless you, I would wonder.
There are certain things, certain events that you will get etched in your mind, I guess.
Right. Or you would just think that you would be thinking of something so much that it would just stay in your memory. Like the one thing you remember about your mom or something. But I mean, I've seen some of those pictures and stuff from when you were a kid, and it looked like she was a really sweet mom. Have you heard any stories about like what kind of a mom she was for you guys? Or
yeah, she was very sweet, nice, and kind, and loved kids.
Yeah, she's like a kid lover, so
yeah,
that's pretty nice. So she's more. I mean, Grandpa obviously loved kids too, but so they were probably more alike in that way.
But her dad, my grandpa, I remember him. He really didn't like kids so much.
Oh, Grandpa Willard?
Grandpa Willard, yeah. And we used to go in Grandma Willard's garden all the time, catch butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he'd come chasing after us.
Because you got the butterflies?
Because we were going in the garden.
Oh, and she had a big garden like she did when I knew her?
Yeah.
Okay. Did she do anything with those flowers, or was it just for fun?
Well, she sold them. I mean, I don't know if she sold them.
Was there a connection with the arrangements that your mom was doing and with Grandma Willard?
That they were doing that for Woolworths, I think.
So Grandma would grow them, your mom would do arrangements with Grandma, and then they would sell them to Woolworths or something?
I think something like that. I just know that she made them and sold them somehow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then was Nancy around then?
Yeah, she was. And after Mom died, Nancy took us up north all the time, up to Lake Superior, Duluth, and
would she
Grand Marais.
Was she trying to do stuff that she thought your mom would do with you, or was she just doing whatever she could to spend time with you, or is that kind of thing that your mom might have done with you too?
Yeah. I think she did, but usually the way it worked, they take one kid, one of the grandkids, on a trip.
Okay.
And there were 4 of us, so it would take a while to get all 4 rotated through. So it was something I remember, and well, I talked to Nancy, a couple years ago now.
Yeah.
Things aren't always what they seem. I mean.
What do you mean? You guys didn't do that as much? It was all on time?
Well, she didn't think it was so special, and I did.
Yeah, but for her, it was probably just
babysitting or something. I don't know.
Right. She has a different perspective, so that's probably to be expected. What about like talking about your mom? Did she ever talk about your mom at all, or was it pretty much just?
I don't remember her talking about her.
Do you remember Grandma Willard talking about her at all?
Yeah, and she talked about Royce too, who was.
He died when he was a little kid, though, right?
11 years old or something.
So many years before.
Right. I never knew him.
But so she lost that kid at 11 to what? Some kind of fever or something? Or?
I think it was rheumatic fever or something.
All right. And then your mom.
At 34, I think.
And Nancy is the other kid?
Yeah.
So 3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Grandpa Willard was not a very nice guy.
Well, he just didn't have a high tolerance for
kids.
Was
he nice to Grandma?
I don't know, because he had a separate bedroom and always did, as far as I know.
Oh, yeah?
But, I mean, that can be for many reasons.
Right. But they weren't like always together kind of...
Well, I mean, he was always...
He's working and doing what men did back then kind of things, or what?
Yeah, I think he was a custodian or something, maintenance kind of worker at school.
Oh, okay. Do you know where your parents met?
No, I don't.
Do you know what age they started dating?
I don't know that either.
Do you have a guess? How old was your dad when you were born? Do you know?
I can do the math, figure it out.
But it's not like, I mean, like I picture mom at 18, you at 21, pretty
Yeah.
much when I was born.
Yeah, I think he was 26.
Okay, so they're a little bit older. So he went to college and everything before that.
Yeah, he went 3 years of college.
He didn't get a degree.
No.
Did that ever bother him?
Well, I'm sure he wanted to, but
It wasn't a big deal.
he didn't say it was.
And then what did he expect out of you guys growing up? Did he think that you guys would go to college, or did he think you guys would?
He never talked about it ever.
So
Because
he went to 3 years of college. Was he into reading the medical books and stuff when you were younger?
Yeah, he wanted to be a doctor. So.
Right. So, but he never really thought anything to tell you guys, like pursue this or stay hard on your studies or anything like that, or.
Well, all my brothers joined the Air Force. Well, Steve joined the Marines.
Right.
And you were born and I couldn't join. So it's all your fault.
Was Grandpa in the Marines? Or in the military?
No.
So what made them join the military? Just
I have no idea.
So Steve did it first, and
Yeah.
then everyone else thought it was a good idea, and they just did it.
Yeah.
Because they can get around and they can go see the world a little bit. And,
Well, it was a good deal. And if you can stick it out, it's a good deal.
Oh, absolutely. But then, so Grandma passes away. You turn 5, and then you and your 4 brothers and your dad stay in the same house and everything.
Yeah. 7408 Colfax Avenue.
And that's in Richfield.
Yep. And it was a pink stucco 1-story house.
What was Grandma Willard's address that I knew her at?
I think it was 7413.
Colfax?
Yeah.
Oh, so you lived on the same street.
Yeah. She lived across the street.
Okay. So you guys
Kitty corner.
Right. Okay. Excuse me. So she lived across the street.
Yeah.
Would she spend a lot more time with you then after your mom passed away? Like, would Grandpa drop her off, you guys off for the day and stuff, and go to work, or?
Yeah, she'd come over there all the time. But Grandma Hanson took care of us for a while until she probably had enough. Cause,
like years?
not years. Well, maybe a couple of years. But
Where was she? She lived pretty close, right?
she lived in Richfield, but on the, the east side, Pillsbury.
Okay. Did Grandpa graduate from Richfield?
No, Central High, I think.
Okay. And your mom?
Probably the same.
Yeah. All right. So.
Because I'm trying to get more information when I was doing the genealogy, but I stopped doing that and I started again. Because it's really
I'd like to,
interesting.
Send in that sample or whatever. Do the
DNA.
The DNA thing to find out your actual background.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, if somebody in your family does it, you can get a pretty good idea of what you are, so, or what everyone else is. So.
I figure it's a safe bet that I'm half Norwegian, since my dad was full Norwegian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
So your mom is the one where the questions are?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Interesting.
Because Grandma Hanson came over on a boat. She was like, I don't know, 8 or 9, something like that.
Oh, okay.
And so did Sigurd.
Uh-huh.
And then they met.
Oh, they met here?
They met in the United States. Yeah, at some Norwegian embassy thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then, so they had, how old are you when he passed away?
I never met him.
Oh, okay.
So he died in 40-something.
Oh, really? Oh, so she was barely married, had kids?
Right. Well, no, because my dad was probably 15 or so, he said, when Sigurd died, his dad.
Did Grandpa ever try to say anything to you about your mom? Like, I know how hard this is because I have a dad that I lost too. Like, did he ever try to relate to you with that story, or did he ever try to ease your pain with any of that kind of talk?
He did about, I guess he drank a little too, so.
That was Sigurd drink or your
Sigurd, yeah.
Sigurd?
Sigurd.
Sigurd.
Sigurd, I think.
And then so.
And I can trace both their roots all the way back to Norway.
Oh, really?
Back to 1600 or something.
Holy cow. And so, Grandma, since 1940 something, didn't have another person in her life.
No.
She's just all alone. And she died in, what, the 90s?
I think she was 90.
Yeah, so she died, but was it 1990s or was it 2000s?
Um,
Do you remember how long ago she died?
no, I don't. I'd have to check.
Sure, but it was a while ago, but you're talking 60, 70 years of without a partner.
Yeah, and she had congenital heart failure. That's the first time I ever heard about it.
Oh,
or seen it, because she always slept.
Oh, is that what? Okay, so that was how she was just getting exhausted from her heart failure and she slept to deal with it and that kind of thing?
Which I guess is pretty common.
Sure. Well, so, wow, I can't imagine. Did she live in that same house the whole time?
Yeah, and then she went into a nursing home for the last, probably, at least a year. Maybe 2, because she might have moved to a different one.
She must have spent a lot of time doting on her children and grandchildren or something, because I just can't imagine. Did she work and stuff, or?
She worked at the high school, actually.
Oh, really?
As a cook. That's where she got all those good recipes.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, and I'm serious. They're good because I like them.
Oh, that's old cooking, then that's why it's not good anymore. But when you went to school, she was a cook there, or no?
No, not when I went to school.
Did you go to Richfield High School at all?
Yeah, I did for probably 3 years, I think.
So you went to Lakeville just for your?
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially because you have grandma that lives right there, so you could just live with her. You'd think.
Well, I lived with Grandma Willard for a while, but they didn't have open enrollment or anything like that, so I couldn't go.
But if you lived with your grandma who lives in Richfield, why couldn't you go to Richfield?
Because they had to go through my parents.
Oh, so it would be a matter of having grandma take custody of you or be your guardian or whatever?
Something like that. They didn't want to do it.
It does sound a little more challenging than just living there and finishing school up, but all right. So that was the last year or two of high school. You went to Lakeville after Richfield.
Yeah.
And how long did you last at Lakeville?
Not a whole year, because then I went. Well, they had night school in Burnsville. That's where I ended up going.
And was that against your dad's wishes, or did he not care? Or?
Well, I didn't tell him till I was almost done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was okay with it, I guess, because I graduated early.
With a regular.
Regular diploma, because all I needed was, I think, 2 English credits or something, and all the rest could have been.
So was Steve in the military by that time? Did he graduate from Richfield and ship off then?
Yeah.
And then Rob and Larry were also Lakeville graduates?
Yep.
Okay. But they didn't mind the move as much because they were younger and...
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Did they pal around together a lot? Were they buddies? Rob and Larry?
I wouldn't say they were buddies, but yeah, they did hang out together, especially when we moved.
Was there that kind of divide, like you hung out with Steve a lot and those two hang out, or did you three hang out a lot when...
Well, it was Steve and I did a lot. And when he came home from the Marines, and then he went up north to Alexandria for 2 years.
When you think back to having 4 brothers and just, siblings and stuff, do you think there's one that you are the most like or get along with the most? Maybe not today, but
overall,
big picture kind of thing.
Yeah, overall it was probably Rob.
Mm-hmm. Is that just because he's easygoing, or is that because you think you and him kind of like the same kind of stuff, or?
Well, because he'll listen to things and won't make snap judgments.
Right, he'll process it.
Right.
Give you some feedback regardless of
right.
good, bad, or you like it or whatever.
Right.
And then.
And Larry was you know, a little
Quicker.
quicker to draw, I guess.
Yeah. And so, did Larry and you? I mean, he's how much younger than you?
4 years.
So did you? I mean, that's kind of Liam and Luca. Did you
Yeah.
guys even really? Did you do much together growing up, or was it pretty much just?
We did stuff together. I mean, we hung out with the Doans a lot, and there was Eric and Keith and Mark. You know.
And those are kids in Richfield.
Yep.
And they're same age, kind of thing.
Yep.
And was your? I mean, you always talk about riding your bike all around Richfield and stuff. Is that pretty much what a day was like for you guys back then?
Oh yeah. We'd go ride our bikes to Minneapolis or
Oh man.
Bloomington. We used to go to Bush Lake all the time.
Did you guys? Did you know? Like, was your dad aware of where you were riding your bike to, or was it?
Not always.
Like, if he found out, would that have been a problem? If he said?
Yeah, because we went to Bush Lake and coming home, Steve had an accident on the bike. It's really.
Like fell.
Yeah, and it scraped up his leg pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't ride home.
He could, but you know he was hurt falling.
Right. So you had to get somebody to help you.
Yeah, we just had to slow down and get him home.
Mm-hmm. Did when did you guys like? How old were you when you guys? I mean, so you're riding around Richfield, you know, whatever, bunch of brothers. How old was it when you guys first thought, let's grab somebody's cigarettes and go smoke some cigarettes?
Probably 10 or 11.
Oh, yeah?
I was. Yeah.
Was it Steve did it, and so then everybody down the line did it, or was
Steve and Mark Doan did it.
Is Mark Steve's age?
Yep.
Okay. And Keith is your age, right?
Yeah, Keith is more my age.
Okay. And so, did that become a regular thing? Was it like, or was it just like when you're 10 you did it once, and then when you're 11 you did it once?
No, he kept at it. I don't know. I was upset with him now that I look back, but he was a kid too, so.
Right. But you guys just jumped right into it, and it was no big deal. It was just something you guys did for fun, just smoking cigarettes, riding around on your bikes, and that kind of thing.
Yep.
How would you get cigarettes? Stealing from your dad?
Yeah, we'd take my dad's, or
you couldn't buy them, could you? Or would you
they
say
had cigarette machines, like candy
that's
machines.
Right. That's right. I remember those from the laundromat with the pull levers and stuff. Okay. Yeah. Well, that would make that pretty easy.
So all we had to do was sell our lunch tickets.
Your orange tickets?
Lunch
tickets? You could sell those?
Well, yeah. If somebody's in line buying them. It's
What,
not like now.
So you're saying like you would have a lunch ticket already purchased. You'd see somebody in line ready to buy a lunch ticket.
Yeah.
And you'd say, hey, you know, I'll give you this for 25 cents instead of 50 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you get your... And you did that regularly?
Yeah. When we ran out of cigarettes.
Did you have lots of money-making schemes with your brothers?
No, not lots of them. But we sold candy. We'd go to the gas station every morning on the way walking to school,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd buy the Charms. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Mm-mm.
Charms lollipops. They were a nickel each or something.
Are we talking like the circles with the loop on the bottom, or how?
No, they were
Big lollipops?
not big lollipop. Yeah, we sold them for a dime, so
Mm-hmm.
double their money.
Okay. Did you make up a foundation?
No, just we did Christmas carols and made up.
Oh, the Christmas Carol Foundation.
Yeah.
So you would do that. What, you'd grab the suckers, go sell them to people, get enough money to buy cigarettes. Was that usually the aim? Is just cigarette money?
No, because this started probably before I smoked.
And what kind of, did you guys buy comic books, or did you buy just candy, more candy? Or?
More candy.
Yeah. So you like candy a lot now. Did you like candy a lot when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
Did your brothers all like candy?
Oh yeah.
So candy has always played a big role. That was always a treat.
Yep.
And what about like pop and stuff like that? Did you drink Coca-Colas and stuff and
Pepsi.
Pepsi?
In a returnable bottle.
And so that was another thing you did when you were a kid? You'd buy those pops, drink them, return the bottles, get your 5 cents or whatever?
Yep. And they used to be 16-ounce bottles, and I wish they had them now. And if I ever find a Diet Pepsi in a bottle,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to drink it.
Because you just think it tastes better.
Right.
And so, does that mean you miss the taste of Diet Pepsi, or
Oh yeah.
even just in general, do you miss? I mean, you've given up a lot of stuff. So is Diet Pepsi one of those things that you wish you could have?
Yeah.
Is it
I really would like to.
is it because of
Carbonation.
the heartburn and stuff? And so, I mean, I always wondered how it felt to quit caffeine, because what source of caffeine do you get after that? If you're drinking a 12 pack a day of,
Well, I guess I wouldn't. I guess I don't get any caffeine now.
right? So then you go from all that caffeine, which is a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 cans of pop is like a full blown coffee, so you're drinking like equivalent of what somebody drinks a pot of coffee a day.
Yeah.
And then you give it up, and then no caffeine at all. That never gave you headaches or bothered you or anything?
When I gave it up, I was in the hospital, so it wasn't so hard.
Oh, so it was just no choice.
Yeah.
All right, they're not eating it. But all right, so let's see, covering a lot of ground here. Go too far, too fast, I think. But all right, so back to your friends from Richfield. You said the Doan brothers.
Yeah.
And those are names I've heard a lot. Are those are kids you hung out with mostly in Richfield? Yeah. Did those carry over into Lakeville and into your older years, or did you guys?
Mark Doan died right before Steve did. Well, maybe a year before Steve did.
Oh, what from?
It just said sudden death, so could be anything.
Was he? Did he live a pretty regular life, healthy life, or
no, not at all. He would drink a couple pots of coffee. In fact, he went in the hospital a couple times for caffeine overdose.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. What about is he the guy that bought a VCR from
We might. He sold everything. He was into every gimmick.
Okay, so he would sell stuff. Okay. Yeah, because I just remember when you got a VCR one time from, I think Rob gave it to you, but it was through one of those guys or whatever, because I just remember Mom talking about it. But it was a nicer VCR, and they were like $300 or something back then, so it was cheaper. But
well, Keith Doan is still around. He's called me a couple of times.
Yeah, and he's the one he came to my graduation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been married to the same woman for a long time, right?
Well, she died.
She died?
Yeah, he got divorced from one, married another, and then she died.
Oh,
that's
really?
Probably 5 years ago. Yeah.
How'd she die?
I'm not sure.
I
think it was cancer.
Didn't Mom say that he was married to somebody that they had pictures of themselves when they were at like their prom and stuff like that, or was that somebody different?
I never met her, so I don't know. I'm not the one that died.
But his first wife, when did he divorce her? Is that who his kid is with?
Yeah.
So does he have one son, or?
He's got one kid that I know of.
Okay, and that's with the first one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you didn't really, what did you guys do for fun? Like, I mean, did they just ride around with you on bikes, smoke cigarettes?
Oh, we loved to fish.
Oh, really?
To fish, yeah.
Did you actually have fishing poles and stuff?
Or? Oh, yeah.
Would you carry them on your bikes or like hide them in the bushes? Or?
Yeah, we'd carry them on our bikes when we go fishing.
And would you guys, that's strange. So you loved to fish when you were a kid, but I mean, I remember Steve obviously loved to fish as an adult, and Rob seemed to pick up on it a little bit too, maybe more just to be with Steve or something, but you never really I never remember you fishing at all.
Because I got to the point where I wasn't catching anything ever. I used to go up north with Doug Hartman all the time, every opener.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were a regular Minnesota fishing guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I would never have guessed that.
No, I liked it. I really did.
Huh. Even when you're older now and you think it's relaxing, it's something to do, it's a hobby, like, do you think you would
fish
again?
I would, but the only fear I have is I don't know how to clean the fish anymore.
Sure, but all things you could learn. It's not that big a deal, but
yeah.
Wow. So you just ran out of luck and stopped altogether.
Yeah, basically.
Was that before you met like Mom and Grandpa and all those guys? So they never knew you as a fisher person either.
No.
You never really fished with them.
And I didn't hunt, so I was usually the oddball.
Yeah, I mean, the non-hunting thing for sure, because they all hunt, but the fishing, I would have thought it'd be a good opportunity to jump in there and
Yeah.
But all right. Well,
Like Denny, he still fishes, or he did fish a lot.
before he got ill, or
Yeah, well, he's even fished since then, I think.
well, he lives up by a lake, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. But all right. Well, I will. I think we can stop for lunch right now,
Yeah, it looks like it.
and then if you feel like it later and we have time, we can do more later. But otherwise, I'll see how this one went, and we can do it the next time we come over.
What else are you gonna get today?
I don't know. We'll see. I want to see how this one goes. But I wanna keep doing that as many as until we run out of ideas to talk about.
Okay. Well, you're a good interviewer. You like that the guy who interviews all the actors?
Oh, James Lipton or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's like 80 some years old. I mean,